Howdy, folks, and welcome to YouTube Roulette Tuesday, a Sound Appraiser exclusive, the show where we pick a YouTube-generated music genre playlist, ask Alexa for a random number, then use that to find tracks that'll expand our horizons. My name's Cary Nightingale, and with me as always is our croupier, Kevin Nebrich. Ladies and gentlemen, place your bets and let's spin that wheel. Now, Kevin, I'd love for you to tell me about the classical song you landed on.
I listened to O Fortuna, the bookending movement of German composer Carl Orff's ambitious cantata Carmina Burana, first performed by the Frankfurt Opera in 1937. O Fortuna is one of 24 medieval Latin poems selected by Orff from the manuscript of the same name for his 25-movement arrangement, and opens with the title of this piece being sung thunderously by a choir. Apparently allowing Carl access to an orchestra is like giving Kevin McAllister the nuclear launch codes. The poem, O Fortuna, is a condemnation of the Roman goddess of fate and her wonderful wheel of whimsy, which she would spin whenever she damn well pleased, changing the position of everyone on the board for better or for worse. The choir is really the focal point of this piece, and everything is built around the vocal melody. The accompanying instrumentation throughout is therefore used effectively to highlight the choir, with several instruments playing a homophonic harmony. There are dynamic volume changes throughout this piece. Immediately after our thundering intro, the choir drops to just above a whisper, building ever so slightly in intensity until the drums unexpectedly resound, not unlike cannon fire. My tune score for O Fortuna, composed by Carl Orff and performed here by the Atlanta Symphony Orchestra, conducted by Robert Shaw, the guy from Jaws, is 8.1 out of 10. Cary, give her a listen and let me know what you think of my score. Two quick notes before you do, however. The video that we used for this review goes a bit long. O Fortuna wraps up around the 2 minutes and 33 second mark. And then number two, you might want to lower the volume just a bit.
Those sound like very good suggestions. Hang on, I'll give it a spin and I'll be right back. And I'm back. Kev, thanks so much, especially for the suggestion to save my hearing. And I also agree, it's good to know that the actual O Fortuna section ended at 2 minutes 33 because I listened to the whole thing. I think it went on a little bit long. The real power was in that first 2.5 minutes. So I think I can agree with your tune score. I would also say that Carl Orff's keys to the nuclear launch code, it's a very different approach than what I landed on with my classical genre song. What I landed on was 1832's Nocturne Opus 9, number 2, by Frédéric François Chopin. As an instrumental work for solo piano, Nocturne Opus 9 number 2 is a force of harmony and melody. The notes being played, however, only hint at the story. The composition calls for variations in volume and rhythmic tightness, making those notes sound variously like raindrops, brute force, and playful naivete. More competent music theorists than myself could, and have, explained the features and functions of the chord sequence and the melodic intervals. Suffice it to say that there's some real cool stuff happening, and I particularly like the use of both close trilling and wide intervallic leaps in the right-hand melody, as well as the broken chord voicings in the left hand. It's a challenge to compare this performance by Vadim Khaimovich to Chopin's original because, well, Chopin died before recording technology existed. But this performance appears true to the composition and incredibly deft in its use of dynamic velocity in the keystrokes and placement of notes rhythmically, especially within the very loose rhythmic structure called for by the composer. Nocturne means from or of the night, and this nocturne achieves its goal of being highly evocative of nighttime through its overall soft and jovial timbre, coupled with a few well-placed mood modulation events. This is a piece that most individuals in the Western world have probably heard many times without knowing its name or composer. Know ye now, Frédéric Chopin's Nocturne, Opus 9, number 2, rates at an 8.1 out of 10 on the tune score scale, and it deserves a listen now that you know what it's called. Kev, let's start with you.
Happy to, sir. Let's do it. Okay, I'm back.
So, Kev, what'd you think?
Beautiful.
Eloquent in its brevity. Now, as always, we invite and encourage you, our dear audience, to give a listen to the tracks we reviewed today. They're on our Tune Scored Tracks playlist on our YouTube channel. While you're there, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel and leave us a comment, letting us know what you thought of our scores and critiques. Did you agree? Did we miss anything? It's also a great place to recommend one of your favorite genres for a future episode of YouTube Roulette. We've had a lot of fun today, and we hope you did too. That's been Kevin Nebrich. I've been Cary Nightingale. We'll see you in the next one. Until then, stay sound. Kevin, I'd love for you to tell me about the classical song that you landed on.
So I listened to O Fortuna. I should probably say that better. O Fortuna. We're going O Fortuna.